Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Fan View Live. Manchester City, of course, have just beat Club Brugge 5-1. It was absolutely immense. Generally, a really impressive performance in the Champions League. It's the kind of performance you want to see as a Manchester City fan. Goals, entertainment, absolutely loads of stuff going on. It was wonderful stuff. It was absolutely wonderful. Loads of talking points, of course. Loads of talking points. And this is the Fan View Live, where we hopefully try and chat to you guys about your thoughts on the game. A little bit later than I planned. I planned to go live at like 8:30, but I felt genuinely a little bit tired because I hadn't eaten in hours and hours and hours. So I've scoffed down some food beforehand, and we will be going live very soon with, I think, got Scott waiting as well. Going to be chatting to Scott in a little bit. If you want to have a say, don't forget, you can find the link if you are a member or a Patreon. It's all there already. Patreon.com/Esteem Company. You can go and find it over there. You find a link over there as well. And, of course, if you are a YouTube member, the community tab, so youtube.com/Esteem Company, click that community tab and you'll be able to find a link there as well to join in on StreamYard. The Bill ABC TV, which is Jason's going to come on in a bit. He's got his camera off, so you don't have to have your camera on if you don't want to. If you sort of have a vocal chat, that is more than good enough for me. So don't worry about it if you're feeling a little bit shy or whatever, but you still want to chat Manchester City Football Club. Do not worry about it at all, because you are more than welcome. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, of course. You've heard my thoughts over in the match reaction, so I want to hear some thoughts from you guys. So please do feel free to join in if you want to have a chat with me about Manchester City. You know where the links are by now. It's in the Slack group if you're in there, or patreon.com/Esteem Company to any member at any level, and as well, obviously, for the YouTube members. So I'm going to go over now to Scott. I have no idea if this is lined up because I've not done the editing in advance. Fingers crossed it will be. Hang on. Hello. How you doing, man? You good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I mean, I'm loving life after Manchester City today. That was bloody good, wasn't it, man? What was your take on the game today?
I think job well done. I mean, I think everybody played extremely well. We made one mistake and they capitalized on it. I think besides that, we had a pretty much perfect game.
Yeah, there's not really much more you can ask for, is there, other than that? I mean, like, Guardiola said that was one of our best Champions League performances, and at least under him, very least. And do you go along with that personally? Is it up there? Does it rank that highly?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say that was one of the most like dynamic and in control I'd say we've looked in all of our Champions League games, and probably I'd say that's the most in control we've looked all season.
Do you reckon?
Probably. I mean, we looked really in control in some of our games, and maybe it's just because that Club Brugge is really good, but maybe I would consider them a little bit lesser competition than like Liverpool, obviously. And I think
Yeah, of course, yeah.
we controlled the Liverpool game really well, and same thing, made a couple of defensive mistakes, and when you have quality like Liverpool, they're going to capitalize on that. But I think today we looked in full control, and after the first ball went in, I mean, even before the game, I was saying 3-0. I was pretty confident, but as soon as I saw them start to play and link up throughout the game, I mean, I thought we were pretty comfortably in control.
I mean, you were born confident. Of course, you're confident. Like it's just part of who you are. But to be honest, I think you're probably right to be, because we still do this thing as City fans where we presume the worst because Bruges have done well against Leipzig and PSG. We presume therefore we're going to be, we're going to not play badly. But I mean, this form at the moment, I think it's kind of gone slightly under the radar how good we're playing generally. I know we weren't perfect against Burnley, but we were still good against a tricky team. But when you look at the games as well that we've had. I said during my watch along, which I know you were there as well, but I do wonder if right now we're playing at a level, with the false nine stuff that just feels like there's familiarity with it, if that makes sense. Because obviously we did it all last season. It's not this new thing anymore, which of course has its negatives because people get used to it, but it also has its positives, doesn't it? Because the players are used to it and they're better at it. Is this like, I mean, obviously there are concerns about not having a striker, but is it possible that we just carry on being brilliant with a false nine in general?
Yeah, no, I think, we made it to the Champions League finals last year. We won our league. We won another trophy playing the false nine. And I think, the guys believe in themselves. I think we have a couple players who can play in that false nine role really well.
Yeah.
Obviously, not everybody's going to have the best day every single day. And if it just happens to be that number 9, that'll happen. But I think, Torres, I think Foden played really well in it today. I
I agree.
When we've seen De Bruyne step up and play there. I think he's played excellent in that role as well. And I think we've seen even has Bernardo played it a little bit? I think he's played like once or twice.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. But when he was more of like just running around everywhere last season in the Champions League, but
yeah, and I think he played well, and all of them can link the game up well and have the football IQ to be able to, play at that position and do well and at least give us a chance to win games.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely, man. I mean, we talked a bit of Foden about there. I mean, obviously, I don't think Foden's had many great games as a false nine, not because he's bad, just because he's new to him still. But obviously, being a false nine, it's about affecting the game from the middle and knowing when to drop and when runs behind. I feel like tonight was his best performance as a false nine, in terms of like his overall like comfort in that role. And obviously, I don't think that's a coincidence that he's been playing century a little bit more recently as well. I mean, right now that slot's available. Could he make it his own?
Yeah, no, I think he definitely could, easily. I especially now that Torres is out for a little while. I think it's definitely somewhere I would like to see him play. Although I've been pretty vocal about I wish we could see him on the right wing a little bit more. I love seeing him out there. But I think he's got the skill set. He, as you were saying, I think he's got plenty of pace to play in that position. He's clearly giving defenders quite a handful every time. I mean, it looks like he draws fouls nonstop, even though they don't call it for him.
Yeah.
Every time. But no, I think it's definitely somewhere that I think he can look to play, and I think he's one of those utility players that can play all sorts of different roles and make it his own.
I've just realised, by the way, Scott's view of the camera is very different to what everyone else has got. Because I've got my little cheaper webcam on StreamYard with Scott's in, and my nice camera over on YouTube. Scott can see Nicola's feet in the background, which no one else can see. But it's not on stream, don't worry, Nicola. It's just literally on StreamYard. She's moved now. I was about to change over. Sorry? Oh, she's got socks that do that on it, like which she's very big her mood. You can't really see it in the background. Anyway, I'll change the subject there. Back to the game. I mean, are you feeling relatively comfortable now, of course, about the Champions League progression? Because what scored PSG right now? I mean, let's double check. They're playing right now, aren't they? It's currently 1-1. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
You must feel comfortable about progressing now, I would guess.
Yeah, I would definitely say, especially because now we have Club Brugge at home, we have PSG at home, and then I think Leipzig is going to be away, correct? Do we have them at home first, or I can't even remember.
Apparently Leipzig have just scored, according to Sinister, 2-1 right now. That's imagine they went out.
Then I'm feeling really comfortable if that ends that way. Then I think that we definitely are in a good position to finish at the top of our table.
Excuse me, yeah. It's clear my throat, man. 1 second. What'd you do with Cole Palmer?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was saying in the beginning of the I think I mentioned it somewhere in the middle. I said we need to get him on for at least 30 minutes. I think I said put him in at the 60-minute mark. Let him get a goal. I mean, his finishing is just so really good, and I think, he doesn't take the spectacular lace-it shot. He uses his ability with the inside of his foot and just curls it around keepers. And I've seen him do in the academy a bunch, and he also, when he scored his goal, forget who it was against, but he came in and he scored a goal as well in the league, and same type of play where he just opened up his body and wasn't even in the corner, but he could just curl it around the goalkeeper enough to get it in. And I think, he's special. I mean, he definitely needs to you could tell he was a little bit slower on the ball than most of the guys. To be honest, there's one thing I did notice just watching him, but I think that just comes with game time, like getting more
Pep said that as well,
the
actually.
flow of things.
Pep said, which I thought was good, like he was obviously great in front of goal, but he said he made a couple of slight bad decisions in possession, which is I'm kind of glad Pep said that, if that makes sense. It's almost to ground him a little bit, isn't it? Like, well done the goal, but you're still miles off, mate, and not in a bad way. It's just you're young and you've got to learn, and I think that's probably fine, isn't it, really? Because the point is, obviously, Pep knows what he's doing. He knows how to manage these lads, and like he's doing the Foden thing, isn't he? Being patient with them and treating all that kind of stuff, which has worked.
Yeah.
Are you still in work, by the way, man?
Yeah. I'm just sitting outside work. I'm about to actually take off here in a little bit. I just got a few more things to wrap up, and then I'm heading home. So
That's that Denemy energy, man. What bit of work, bit of Man City. Did you do any work today? Let's be honest. Or were you just watching?
Luckily, I do like automation type of things, so I can write scripts, and then I just have to, do a bunch of testing, so I can just watch them run while I listen in. Usually, I'm just listening to the game in the background, and you with
nice.
the live watch along. So
well,
then
good thing
if
about
I
working
hear a goal, I'll watch it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, good thing about watching. Working in technology, you can have screens open, can't you? Let's be honest, mate. I'll leave you to it. Thank you so much for coming on. You're an absolute legend. I'll catch you very, very, very soon. I know. You just asked. It was Sinister who asked, "Do you need a webcam?" You don't need a webcam at all, mate. If you don't want to come on with a webcam, your phone works. But if not, if you wanted to have a chat without a webcam, you're more than welcome. Always more than welcome. Which is what Jason's about to do. Let me get Jason on the stream right now. 1 second. Hello, are you there, my friend?
Hi, Steve.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, good, thanks. And I'm happy that Cole Palmer was given a go, a bit of game time.
Oh, he was fantastic, mate. Are you calling from Australia?
Yes.
Whereabouts in Australia are you?
Sydney, mate. It's 7:21 in the morning here.
You must be tired. Have you been watching the whole game?
Only parts. I didn't watch. Only your watch along.
Oh, okay, nice, man. Like, it was a good game though. Obviously, we're delighted for Cole Palmer. You must be. Are you excited to see him play for the first team now?
I would like to see him have some Premier League come on in the last maybe 20 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah.
Just more experience, and if he can get us some goals when he comes on, that'll be great.
I mean, he did that as well today. I mean, that's all you can ask for a young player, isn't it? Get a goal here and there and try and learn from the senior players. And he's obviously got talent, mate. He clearly has. The best thing about him is he just fitted in tonight, didn't he?
Yes.
He really did. I mean, who else impressed you tonight?
I'm just happy. I didn't watch the game because it's not on TV in Australia, but I was just listening to your watch along.
Oh, okay.
I just want the whole team to do well. Even Sterling, I want Sterling to get back into good form.
Same, mate, same. I mean, the thing is, like, Sterling, when he came on tonight, he missed a bad chance, unfortunately, but his overall, like, effort and energy, he was really involved, which was really good to see. I feel like he just needs a little bit of luck in front of goal, and hopefully, if one goes in, maybe a few more will. But he got an assist for Cole Palmer, which was nice. How have you enjoyed the start of the season so far?
Yes.
How do you think?
And if we can keep winning, and if United lose a game here and there, so I hate United, and
Damn right, mate.
I supported Manchester City since the 1980s.
1980s, mate. That's when I was born. So when I was a baby.
I remember the 5-1 against United, and I love Man City because of the sky blue. That was my original, and I just love sky blue. That appeals to me.
Oh, likewise, mate. That was one of the reasons as why is when I was a kid as well in Manchester. That's one of the reasons why I fell in love with the colour blue. The word Manchester. I was about 3 years old and I remember it so well.
And what I want to say is that's why white shorts is okay, but I prefer sky blue shorts because that's my favourite colour. So that's
okay,
why
man.
I feel sky blue. It's
okay, man. How are you feeling about the season now? Do you think we'll win the league?
It'll be a tie between us, Chelsea, and Liverpool, but if we keep winning, we have every chance. But think of how much stronger we would be if we had someone like Haaland.
Mate, I think he'd be unfair to everyone else almost. He'd be so good,
Yep.
it'd be unfair. But fingers crossed,
Yep.
because he's wore blue as well as a kid, hasn't he? So
Yes, yes, and I hope get him next season in July, which is my winter, your summer.
yeah, of course, yeah, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Jason, mate, I'm gonna go and chat to Jameson, who watched the game tonight, if that's okay. So we want to chat about the game a little bit more. But it's a pleasure to speak to you, and go and get some sleep. It's so early over there, and I'll catch you very, very soon. Okay?
Thanks, mate. Okay,
Pleasure.
bye.
See you later, pal. Bye bye. What a good lad. Bless him. Top bloke, Jason, calling in from Australia. And I think we all relate to the colour thing, mate. Definitely. I know I personally do. I'm going to come to where's Jameson next and add him to the stream. I'll be with you in 1 second, man. There we go. Hello, James. How you doing, mate? You good?
Hey, Stephen. Doing well.
Whereabouts are you calling from, mate? Can't remember.
Seattle.
Seattle. I think we spoke before. I feel like we have.
One time, yeah.
Yeah, we have. Yeah. It's just like I get. Do you know when I know all the names and all the usernames in the comments, and I always think I've always put the wrong faces to the wrong names and so on. Anyway, man, what time is it over there? Is it good? Is it reasonable?
Yeah, it's about 1:30 in the afternoon, so not too
Oh,
bad.
so you've had a late morning game, which is quite nice actually. Yeah. And hell of a game as well. Hell of a game on a Tuesday morning for you to watch. Talk to me about that game, man. Was it good? In your opinion? Obviously, it was.
It was good. I mean,
how good was it? I guess.
I think it was a game we needed, particularly in the Champions League. We haven't scored a lot this season. The lack of number 9, but I think having a game that at the end of the day probably wasn't the most challenging, didn't push too hard, but was enough to get the players, get kind of that fluidity, that chemistry back, kind of that free-flowing movement that we had a lot of last season when we were banging in the goals.
Yeah, definitely. And I think this we forget sometimes the best way to score goals is score goals. And what I mean by that is confidence, isn't it? Like once it becomes normalized, you don't panic as much about it. So I don't think it's any coincidence that the one Mahrez scored his second goal. That there's a chance maybe he misses that if we hadn't scored 3 goals prior, and likewise or 4 goals prior, and there's a chance Cole Palmer doesn't get a chance to score a goal unless we bagged a bunch. And I know it's a really oversimplification, but I guess I'm saying confidence is usually the best way to score goals, and that comes from bagging 6 against Leipzig and 5 against Club Brugge. So I think these kind of games and having performances this clinical in front of goal, it'll help us in general, not just because it's good to score loads of goals, but it helps us in the tighter games as well, doesn't it? We talked a little bit before about Phil Foden with Scott. I was thinking a little bit about him. This is a question I've been meaning to ask some City fans. Where does he rank in our best players? I mean, in right now, I mean, in the squad, because I saw someone say in the forum before when I was reading that maybe he's our best player right now. Would you go that far? Because he's not far off. So I think it's a worthy conversation.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got to be up. I mean, at the very least, when fit, he's got to be a guaranteed starter at this point, right? And then you have to assume, everything being equal, I think at his best, De Bruyne is still our best. But as he kind of, unfortunately is nearing the end of his career, he's kind of headed down that road.
Don't say it. Sad on it.
Still got time left.
Do you know what? I want to interrupt you briefly. Like the idea, the one player that makes me sad of all the players, even more than Vinny and everything. The thought of Kevin De Bruyne going, something about him. I don't know why, but I think it's because he's the closest we've had to being the best in the world, if that makes sense. And I think I don't know. But anyway, you were saying, carry on about De Bruyne and Foden.
Yeah, well, I mean, De Bruyne at his peak, was up considered, top 5 in the world, and probably still is, when he's at it. And I think part of that was due to his energy in the midfield and his ability to find space, get around, beat a person, and then find that pass. And I think as he inevitably starts to slow down, you have that energy from Phil that comes in,
Yeah.
and Phil's definitely a different style of player, but he brings that same danger level um, in opening up a team. And
That's the thing as well, isn't it? He's learning from De Bruyne. He's learned from David Silva. He's learning from Bernardo and everything. I mean, he seems to be a football sponge, doesn't he? He takes everything into his game.
he's kind of looks like this bastard child of De Bruyne and Bernardo. Just
not bad, is it?
constant energy, a left foot, but also just there's such a great brain to find space to open teams, and not a bad shot on him either.
I want to talk a little bit about Rodri actually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say this is his best reign of form in a Manchester City shirt. What I enjoy about that personally is it's happening now, and that's when it should be. The more time it goes, you shouldn't be saying, "Oh, it was 2 years ago." His best form is now, and it's been in big games as well, which has been really impressive. I mean, we've seen some rumours. The reason I mention this is because we've seen Declan Rice tentatively linked. It's probably just transfer nonsense, but he's been linked. I mean, is it even necessary? I mean, is Rodri... has he answered all those questions now? I mean, he feels to me like he has, but have you still got any doubts or anything like that? Or did you have any doubts? I don't really know your personal opinion in, but what do you make of Rodri at the moment?
No, I mean, I never doubted him. I always thought maybe the midfield, the way the midfield plays, or something about the setup needed to change, because he's definitely a different player than Fernandinho, who he's essentially meant to replace, right? But he plays the game so differently. He's not. I don't think he's as gritty. He's not going to get as dug in as much in the physical battles, but his movement and awareness is just I think is even better and is getting better. And listening to the commentary on our side, the commentators mentioned just they like to use the word imperious, right? He just him being there was this we it was just calming. Our back four really
You're
didn't
so right.
have that much, and it's because of little things. He didn't have to make any big blocks. He didn't have to make any big chase somebody back into the defense. He just connected the passes, made it easier for everyone around them, and it just made life difficult for the opponent. And that's what we needed, right? We don't need anyone to bang the forwards around it all right now. We control it. Control is what we aim for.
I love the word calming, and you're right. There's something about Rodri at the moment that does feel calming. He seems to be playing the game at his own pace, and that's what the best midfielders do. And what I kind of like about Rodri right now is that he's not Fernandinho. And maybe it's just me, but I don't always want a carbon clone of a player, carbon copy. Like you want something different to start liking. It's great. I mean, if he was Fernandinho Mark II, I wouldn't complain, put it that way. But it is kind of nice seeing the team evolve and Rodri be part of that evolution, because it's just, you don't want to see the exact same football always. And the football right now is different to the football we played last season, in my opinion. It's a little bit different. And it's also way different from the 17-18 and 18-19 campaigns. But I think that kind of what makes it fun, isn't it? It'd be boring if we had Fernandinho forever, or someone like Fernandinho. So even though obviously there's always a transition period, it takes a while for them to become who they are. I kind of like it that he's got a different take on the role. And I think there's something fun about that, because he's becoming who he is now at Manchester City. And that to me has value, with the fact that he's also had to work to get to that level of credit that he's currently getting. Like that, if he'd come in and been brilliant straight away, and I don't think he wasn't brilliant straight away. I mean, he was good straight away, I would say, but he definitely is at a level now. If he'd come in that way, it's almost like he wouldn't feel earned. I know it's weird to say that, but I like the fact that he's got better and better and better, because you can see that's a good sign, isn't it? Because you can see that he's learning. You can see that he's studious. And how old is Rodri now? I forget how young he's only young, isn't he? He's 25, which for a defensive midfielder, he's got to me, he's got future vice captain, trait, potential, all that kind of stuff, and we're seeing him with Diaz again. Diaz, by the way. Oh, but this is one thing I wanted to ask you. Diaz kept the armband when Fernandinho came on. Do you think there's anything in that?
I don't think so. I think I mean, I think it's a sign of the obvious, that what we all see is Diaz is you know, in some respects, our captain will be our captain for as long as he's at the club.
Yeah.
I remember, I think City posted a YouTube video of the other day of him, you know, building his perfect City footballer, and he still referred to Fernandinho as the club's captain.
Yeah.
So I think in his mind, he's still learning a lot of that from Fernandinho, but you know,
It's
Fernan
interesting
doesn't have that much time left. But I
Fernandinho
think,
is a very humble, isn't he, as well? So it's interesting that Fern is a really humble guy. It's interesting that he said that in that video. Yeah, when he came on, he just kept the armband. I do wonder if Fern was like, "Nah, man, it's yours." And obviously, I'm making that up in terms of that's just speculation. But I wouldn't be surprised, would you? Because he's definitely earned it. And Fern is like, he's almost something about a captain to know when he should not be captain, if that makes sense. You know, that's always part of a captain's role as well, isn't it? To go, for now, the best decision is you being the captain. I mean, obviously, that's just wild speculation on my behalf, but it feels like a very Fernandinho thing to do. And I wouldn't be surprised. And I kind of personally like the symbolic nature of it. I think it just felt nice that even though those two on the pitch, and he was good for when he came on, of course, as well, it just felt nice that he was there. Finally, man, how are you feeling about the season in general? Like, I mean, what's been your assessment on the start of the season in all competitions and the football we played and so on?
I mean, not bad. I think, you know, there's given everything that happened in the transfer market this summer and us not signing a natural number 9, anytime our goal scoring is not up to where the world seems to think it should be, or even we seem to think it should be, there's going to be criticisms that we couldn't get that going. But I think what we've proved, you know, both in the Leipzig game and in this one, is that, you know, once we find our rhythm, we're still as unplayable as we've ever been. You know, we're still one of the best teams in the world, and we're still going to challenge in every competition, strictly because of who we are, both as the players that we have, which are incredible, but also as this mentality and this competitiveness that's bred into the squad. There's this. Pep is not the kind of person to just resign anything, and he's going to keep pushing the players as far as they can go all season. And I think, you know, we have the squad that's built for that, and they're all as competitive as we need to be, and they're going to keep going. And I think we're going to be challenging like we always do in every competition.
I agree, man. I agree, and I can't wait for it. Actually, like it's weird because after a lot of negativity around the start of the season, but sometimes it's worth just saying, as I think I said in my season preview, we're Man City, we're fucking good, and we're going to be there or thereabouts. And once again, Pep, don't know how he does it, but he's got these players going again. Mate, it's a pleasure chatting to you. I'll catch you very, very soon. Absolute legend, Jameson. Catch you in a bit, mate.
Awesome.
See you later.
See you.
No worries. I'm going to get to Sin now, who's been waiting patiently, the absolute legend that is Sinister CD. I'm going to pop you on there. Hello, dude. You out there, mate? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Good to finally chat to you, by the way. It feels like it's been bloody years that we've been DMing and chatting and whatever. Everything good? What's your first name? I feel like I want to say Tom. Is it Tom, or have I made that up?
No, it's not Tom.
Nah, it's just a guess. I don't even. Someone messaged me once. It was Tom. I can't remember. What's your first name, man? If you don't mind, you don't have to say if you don't want to.
Curtis.
Curtis, good to chat to you, mate.
Yeah.
How's things going? Everything all right?
Yeah, not too bad. It was obviously fun to watch what we did tonight. Yeah, it's just an enjoyable game, really. It's nice to just relax and watch it, really.
That felt to me like the most enjoyable game of the season. You know, in terms of just I think there was very little jeopardy, was there? You know, because obviously the Chelsea game was we were fucking good, but it was tense, wasn't it? Like it was a scary game, you know. And this was just, I mean, we obviously there was a bit of nervousness because we needed to win, but it wasn't like, you know, panic stations or anything like that. Was that possibly even the best we played this season, or was that for another game?
I would say Chelsea was probably the better one.
Yeah.
But based off like the word I thought of in the first half was fun. It was just a fun game to watch. Because you saw like Cancelo just having his own party basically down the left.
Cancelo
basically being Pirlo basically, you know, Foden being Pirlo.
As a false nine as well.
It was just so fun to watch basically. And I think all the guys are having fun now. Because we've got through the tricky spell with Tottenham, not scoring there, and obviously the Southampton game was a bit of a bit of a bad one. But I think we've got past that now, and we're really looking confident again.
Do you know what? I think you've touched on something relatively important that no one's really mentioned there, and I think you're actually accurate. You know, you said they look like they're having fun, and I do actually think you're right on that because and we forget that footballers, it's still a game, and as much as it's work, football is best for everyone, even professionals, when it's fun. And as you said, after getting past that really tough spell of games, and we were really good. Like that must be kind of empowering for the players, right? Because they'll be like, "Oh, we did that. We were really impressive." And now the games are, coming thick and fast, but they're manageable in theory compared to the previous ones. Do you think the players right now, they must be really confident, right? That must really affect the game as well in a positive way, surely.
You know what I think it was, Stephen?
Go on, mate.
You look back at Anfield the other week.
Yeah.
Now, in past years, we've been there, and when we went 2-1 down, we would have capitulated. It would have been 4-1, 5-1 within a space of a couple of minutes. I think getting to places like Anfield, Stamford Bridge, even, PSG, and putting in the performance we did there, it does wonders for confidence. And we know that we got to the final last year. We're a good team. We just need to believe it. And I think we know it now. I think that's what it is.
I think you're right. I think there was a few question marks. It was always, can they do it at Anfield? Can we get to the Champions League final? I know we didn't win the Champions League, but if you can get to the Champions League final, in my personal opinion, you're proving that you can win it. It's just one good day versus one bad day. So we've answered loads of questions essentially, haven't we? And what is left for the players to fear other than themselves? And that sounds like a rhetorical question, but I genuinely mean it. I mean, is there anything less? Is there anything that these players feel like they can't do? I mean, we can score a fucking penalty now as well, apparently. So, it seems like, we're playing this system that everyone told us that we couldn't succeed in. We are succeeding. We played some of the biggest games of the season. Looked really fucking good. I mean, could this end up going... I mean, obviously, we're just guessing here, but I feel like there's something in the water a little bit, I mean, do you get that same sense of feeling as well with City? Because it feels like we're on the cusp of something relatively special here.
I mean, for the last few years, I've felt like Pep is really actually building to something here, and I don't think he's gonna leave in 18 months or whatever the rumours are. I think because he's getting Phil on for a long deal. He's getting players like Edison have signed, haven't they? Stones, and these are all players that he loves, aren't they? So I really don't see him leaving.
Well, they're his, aren't they? They're his as well, which matters.
Yeah, literally. And De Bruyne, I think, signed, didn't he, in the summer? Was it?
Yeah.
Sometime like maybe in spring. And I think the only fear that I think City have is, I heard you mentioning Rodri earlier, is players like Rodri, Walker, who do have, a mistake in them once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
But I think because of them looking so strong and confident and just different players, basically, I honestly do think the belief's there, and I think it's I think it's really going to lead to something really special.
Oh, mate, I hope so, because it feels like it's going that way. And I mean, what do you think the key is to keep Pep around then? Do you think it's a case of he'll decide himself, or I mean, if Cole Palmer does make it through, and then you've got obviously Phil Foden there as well, Pep's a certain kind of person, isn't he, where certain kind of projects or circumstances appeal to him. Do you think if we see a couple of academy players start to make an impact, maybe Lavia gets a chance next season and shows promising signs, and you got Foden there and Palmer, do you think that'd be enough to make him be like, oh, I kind of want to do it with this lot as well, and I need that kind of do you think it'd mean something to him basically if he could have a younger team that he could potentially mold to be another special team?
Well, I think he's having as much fun as a team, because he's working with some of his mates, isn't he, from Barca? Yeah. He's got young players like Ferran he's brought in. Obviously the players you've mentioned there.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Lavia, McCarthy, Palmer. And
even Rodri and Diaz are young players as well, aren't they, compared to most?
Well, yeah, exactly. I think our oldest player is obviously Fernandinho, and he doesn't really start now.
Yeah.
So as a core, we are actually quite a young team, and I think he is having a great time. And obviously, this might be personal bias and obviously emotional touch, but I really hope he does stay, and I think he's enjoying it. And I think if we keep winning things and keep playing how we do, there's no reason for him to go.
I agree entirely. I think we all love him, but I don't think sometimes we don't realize how good he is. He is that special. Like, I think we've normalized his brilliance. Like, this 100 points and 98 points and winning all the domestic trophies. It isn't normal. Even Ferguson didn't get anywhere near that. And he's one of the greatest managers of all time. Like that. Like I love Mancini and I love Pellegrini and all that kind of stuff, but they weren't even close to this level. And I don't mean that in a negative way.
There's also something with Pep where he's actually. It feels like he's part of the club now and kind of like a fan. Because he sticks up for us in conferences, and he feels like a Mancunian at this point.
I mean, that can only come as well from time, can't it? Because you have to it's a totally different thing. But me and Nicola were talking about relationships. So, like, we've been together for 7 years, and we were like, God, after 2 years, we were like, we're that close because obviously we end up getting married and stuff. But like, you're not as close after 2 years as you think you are after 7. You're not even remotely. And I guess the point I'm making is relationships, be it with a club, your workplace, or whatever, like they mean more to you through time. And these I guarantee Manchester City are very much under Guardiola's skin in the way that they weren't 3 years ago. We were just a place for them, but now it's been here. What is it? Is it 5 years he's been here now? Like that's a long time, isn't it?
2016, right? I think. Yeah.
2016. And it'll be 7 years nearly. Like, I mean, I guess the best thing about it is like he's walked away after 3 and 4 years respectively at Barcelona and Bayern and stuff. And walking away after 7 years is a lot harder. It's a lot harder to do because it gets under your skin, doesn't it?
If our dream comes true in the summer and we do end up getting Erling Haaland, why would he leave that? In a year. Imagine we get him and get Haaland, right? My only worry is that we get Haaland next season and win the lot, and then he's like, "Well, I've done my job, Champions League." Then but I don't know why you'd sign arguably the best striker in the world
and then leave after a year. You'd like to think he'd go.
Fighting for him.
Maybe just one more year, you think he'd go. Like, just one more year would be nice, just to see how. I want to see him like mold a forward line of like your Haalands and your Palmers and Fodens and Ferrans and all that kind of stuff.
That could be, Haaland, Foden, whoever on the other side, could be like the new Barcelona of old that he managed, and it would just be like nostalgia for him, wouldn't it?
I mean,
obviously, league, but
we forget as well.
I don't know why he'd walk away from that.
I know this is a really weird reference, but have you seen any of the Harry Potter films?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, do you know like Professor Slughorn or whatever it's called, how he likes to collect students? Again, like in terms of he likes to have teach and taught them or whatever. And it's that episode with the other one who turns into a chair and shit. And like there's an idea like how certain people like to have ownership of certain things. And what I'm getting at here is like the idea of Guardiola. Surely he would like to have gone. Yeah, I coached a young Haaland. I coached a young Phil Foden. I coached a young Cole Palmer, and because that is a pride in that, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. Because at the end of the day, all you've got is your legacy when it comes to it, and that's what that particularly written Harry Potter was hinting at. And I guess the point I'm making here is like, I guess we can try and tempt Guardiola in the way that Dumbledore got fucking Slughorn back or whatever, which is a weird analogy I was expecting to make today. But tempt him with these young players, and say, look, hang around, man, make these guys superstars and build the next team, get McAtee in there or get Luke Mbete or Joshua Wilson-Esbrand or whatever. And I think that's probably the best way to get through to Guardiola, in my personal opinion. That ego, get through to that sense of legacy and say, make that team great. And then you can walk off after 10 years at Man City and that's a decade and that's a legacy, isn't it then?
Well, not only that, he's getting players. I heard today on the commentary that Joao Cancelo has been saying how much Pep was a part of joining City, and Jack's the same, Jack Grealish.
Grealish, we've not even mentioned him yet either.
All these players want to play for Pep, and he's at a club with, let's face it, we are very rich.
Yeah,
he gets pretty much what he needs and what he wants every year, apart from this summer. And I don't see why he'd want to leave that setup. Again, this is probably my emotions and bias coming in, but if I was him, I wouldn't.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. And I think the thing
right now.
He's got an incredible job. He's got the best life in the world right now, and I guess that's the point we need to remember. It's like we forget like Grealish and Cancelo, the more this team evolves, I think the better the chances Guardiola staying. Fingers crossed. Curtis, man,
that's my thinking anyway.
It's been a pleasure, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I really enjoyed that. Honestly, some things I didn't really thought about. The players with the fun and all that kind of stuff, because that stuff matters, I reckon. But I'm going to end it there. If that's all right, man. It's been an absolute
brilliant. Thank
pleasure,
you.
though. I'll just do my quick goodbyes while you're still on there, if that's all right. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a like and subscribe. And don't forget, if you will have a chat next time, which is... Do you know what? I've forgotten who we're playing next. Who are we playing next? Can you remember, Curtis? I generally can't remember.
Brighton.
Brighton, yes. If you want to chat after the Brighton game, we will be here. Brighton's at 5:30 on Saturday, so we'll be around 8:30 or something like that.
For that.
You go there, you go, jump on, man. It'll be good to chat to you. Good to chat to you again. But for now, guys, thank you for watching. Go watch my match reaction if you want to. You're all legends. City 5-1. Fucking great night. It was fun, as Curtis said. For now, though, catch you all in a bit and see you later. Like, comment, subscribe, all the usual stuff in a bit.